Hi there, everybody. It's me, Pastor Jason, and my associate canine pastor, Greg. Sorry we missed you yesterday, so we're going to jump right into Genesis 20 and 21. Oh, yeah, I like them too. They're good chapters. They're good chapters, Greg. Don't forget, we just had Sodom and Gomorrah happen, and then Lot's daughter slept with their father, and that's how we wound up with the Moabites and the Ammonites. Just so you know. So now we're in chapter 20 of Genesis. Abraham and Sarah, don't forget their names changed. They're old. They're old people now. But let's see what they do here after the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. From there, Abraham traveled to the region of the Negev and settled between Kadesh and Shur. While he lived in Gerar, Abraham said about his wife Sarah, she is my sister. So Abimelech, king of Gerar, had Sarah brought to him. Which, if you ask me, is weird because she's old. But God came to Abimelech in a dream by night and said to him, "You are about to die because of the woman you have taken, for she is a married woman." Now Abimelech had not approached her, so he said, "Lord, would you destroy a nation, though it is innocent? Didn't he himself say to me, 'She is my sister'?" And she herself said, "He is my brother. I did this with a clear conscience and clean hands." I know, it's the second time they've pulled this lying stunt, huh, Greg? Verse 6, then God said to him in a dream, "Yes, I know that you did this with a clear conscience. I have also kept you from sinning against me. Therefore I have not let you touch her. Now return the man's wife, for he is a prophet, and he will pray for you and you will live. But if you do not return her, know that you will certainly die, and all who are yours." Early in the morning, Abimelech got up, called his servants together, and personally told them all these things. The men were terrified. Then Abimelech called Abraham in and said to him, "What have you done to us? How did I sin against you, that you have brought such enormous guilt on me and on my kingdom? You have done things to me that should never be done." And Abimelech also said to Abraham, "What did you intend when you did this thing?" Abraham replied, "I thought, there's absolutely no fear of God in this place. They will kill me because of my wife. Besides, she really is my sister, the daughter of my father, though not the daughter of my mother. And she became my wife. So when God had me wander from my father's house, I said to her, 'Show your loyalty to me wherever we go, and say about me, he's my brother.' Then Abimelech took sheep and cattle and male and female slaves and gave them to Abraham, and returned his wife Sarah to him. Abimelech said, 'Look, my land is before you. Settle wherever you want.' And he said to Sarah, 'Look, I'm giving your brother 1,000 pieces of silver. It is verification of your honor to all who are with you. You are fully vindicated.' Then Abraham prayed to God, and God healed Abimelech, his wife, and his female slaves so that they could bear children, for the Lord had completely closed all their wombs in Abimelech's household on account of Sarah, Abraham's wife." Do you want to read the next chapter? Chapter 21. The Lord came to Sarah as he had said, and the Lord did for Sarah what he had promised. Sarah became pregnant and bore a son to Abraham in his old age. At the appointed time God had told him. Abraham named his son who was born to him, the one Sarah bore to him, Isaac. When his son was 8 days old, Abraham circumcised him, as God had commanded him. Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born to him. Sarah said, "God has made me laugh, and everyone who hears will laugh with me." She also said, "Who would have told Abraham that Sarah would nurse children? Yet I have borne a son for him in his old age." The child grew and was weaned, and Abraham held a great feast on the day Isaac was weaned. But Sarah saw the son mocking, the one Hagar the Egyptian had borne to Abraham. And so she said to Abraham, "Drive out this slave with her son, for the son of this slave will not be a co-heir with my son Isaac." Now this was a very difficult thing for Abraham because of his son. But God said to Abraham, "Do not be concerned about the boy and your slave. Whatever Sarah says to you, listen to her, because your offspring will be traced through Isaac. But I will also make a nation of the slave's son, because he is your offspring." Early in the morning, Abraham got up, took bread and a water skin, and put them on Hagar's shoulders, and sent her and the boy away. She left and wandered in the wilderness of Beersheba. When the water in the skin was gone, she left the boy under one of the bushes. Then she went and sat down nearby, about a bow shot away, for she said, "I can't bear to watch the boy die." So as she sat nearby, she wept loudly. God heard the voice of the boy, and the angel of God called to Hagar from heaven and said to her, "What's wrong, Hagar? Don't be afraid, for God has heard the voice of the boy from the place where he is. Get up, help the boy up, and support him, for I will make him a great nation." Then God opened her eyes and saw a well of Then God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water. So she went and filled the water skin and gave the boy a drink. God was with the boy, and he grew, and he settled in the wilderness and became an archer. He settled in the wilderness of Paran, and his mother got a wife for him from the land of Egypt. At that time, Abimelech, accompanied by Pichol, the commander of his army, said to Abraham, "God is with you in everything you do. Swear to me by God here and now that you will not break an agreement with me or with my children and descendants. As I have been loyal to you, so you will be loyal to me and to the country where you are a foreign resident." Do you think he can drink any louder? Verse 24. And Abraham said, "I swear it." But Abraham complained to Abimelech because the water well that Abimelech's servants had seized. And Abimelech replied, "I don't know who did this thing. You didn't report anything to me, so I hadn't heard about it until today." Abraham took sheep and cattle and gave them to Abimelech, and the two of them made a covenant. Abraham separated 7 ewe lambs from the flock. And Abimelech said to Abraham, "Why have you separated these 7 ewe lambs?" And he replied, "You are to accept the 7 ewe lambs from my hand, so that this act will serve as my witness that I dug this well." Therefore that place was called Beersheba, because it was there that the two of them swore an oath. After they had made a covenant at Beersheba, Abimelech and Phicol, the commander of his army, left and returned to the land of the Philistines. Abraham planted a tamarisk tree in Beersheba, and there he called on the name of Yahweh, the everlasting God. And Abraham lived as a foreigner in the land of the Philistines for many days. Well, I hope you were able to, concentrate a little bit. Isn't that the way of things? Sometimes when we sit down to try to get ourselves in the Word, distractions happens, but we need to persevere. A little lesson in perseverance today with our associate canine pastor, Greg. Go get it. Now that he's chewing on a bone, I can't concentrate anymore. I've tried. We got to do as best we can. We do the best we can. I hope this has been a blessing to you and maybe brought a smile to your face, if nothing else. Go on out, put a smile on someone else's face today, and I will see you tomorrow as we continue in Genesis.